In terms of creativity, I write. It is my creative outlet. I do other things too, like cook and do gardening and stuff like that. But the most creative I can be is when I write, and it's when I free write. And I remember in primary school in Cyprus when I would be in the class, sort of it would have been Greek class, wouldn't it be? And we would do language, and our teacher would give us a prompt, and I would be away before anybody even picked up a pencil. I would be away, and I would write and write and write, and she would let me. And I think that my teacher, well, I know actually because I've reunited with her and I've seen her since, but she remembers me, and she remembers that I had so much complex and multiple trauma in my childhood. She knew that I was just a child that needed to have some safe space to express something where in the rest of my environment I couldn't express anything. It wasn't safe for me to express any of my emotions or feelings or thoughts. And so writing became my friend. And she would let me just write. And often I wouldn't participate in any other aspect of the class. I would just write and write and write until class finished. And she'd collect all our essays and all our writings, and she would see the things that nobody else could see about me and in me. She could see through what I wrote. And because of that, we developed a really strong bond. I didn't even know, I mean, I just loved her, but I didn't know that she loved and cared for me very much. And she planted the seed for me to be a writer on the last day of primary school when she was saying goodbye to all of us. And she knelt in front of me, and I remember it so clearly, and looked at me straight in the eyes and said, Michelle, I don't know where you're going to go from here. I don't know if I will ever see you again. You've gone through so much in your short 10 years of life, but I want you to promise me that you will always write. Journal everything about your life, because one day you're going to write your book about your life, and I want to read it. So journal everything and just write. Promise me you will write. And I said, okay. And I never did. I didn't do any of that until many, many years later. In fact, until only very recently, I picked up my pen and started to write again. And I always will remember her as my inspiration, as the one and only person in my environment growing up that saw something in me that nobody else could see, that saw something good about me when everybody else only saw bad or negative or difficult things. Or even perhaps they would see some good in me but didn't see me. She saw me, and she saw my pain, and she saw what I was capable of. And she planted a seed within me that actually served me all through my life, that there was something I could possibly be good at. And even though I still have doubts about my ability, I embrace it as my creative outlet. Whether or not it's good, whether or not people like it, it's still my creative outlet. It's my way to express what's in my soul in ways that I can't do by speaking or any other way. And so when I write, it's like I open the door to my soul and I just let things pour out. And they often surprised me. I mean, the poem I wrote is the first time I've ever attempted a poem in Greek, and it's only the second time I've actually attempted a poem at all. And it just flowed. It just came out, and it clearly showed me that there was more there within me waiting to be expressed. And it unlocked something more within me as well as a person. So writing is definitely my thing.